Hey guys, I wanted to talk about something. Like, I had a little video prepared that was a marketing video for what I do. It's like I mostly work with women that are in stress and anxiety and just fraught with self doubt. And then working with clients today, the same theme kept coming up over and over. And it's a really common theme. It's kind of what I see every day anyway. And it was so strong that yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. So it's about the essentially it's like the biggest pitfall of walking a spiritual life, and the way that most people fail to make progress and walk in their spiritual path. And the and it's the emotional piece. It's the psychology piece. It's like, so many people go do some kind of ceremony somewhere and they have a really profound experience, and they experience, a expansive, universal type of peace and connection with spirit. And it's fantastic. And thank God they're doing it. And it doesn't translate to the rest of their life. And the reason it doesn't translate to the rest of their life is because they haven't learned how to generate that same kind of energy on their own on a day-to-day basis. And the number one reason for that is the stuff that we haven't healed yet. And and the stuff that we haven't healed does lead to stress and anxiety and self-doubt and overthinking, and in all the ways that we respond to all that stuff inside leads to relationship problems. And so instead of going like the spiritual teacher route, I've been trying to give people the building blocks to build the foundation so that they can grow spiritually without getting held back and running away from the things that keep them from being enlightened. And so, like, we all have hurts. We all have horrible hurts. And some of those hurts stay with us for our entire lives. Some of them we get over them, we deal with them, we heal them, and we forget what it's like to ever hurt that way again. And some of them keep coming up. And like for me, it's being adopted at birth. I've got an abandonment wound that every time I come up to a higher level in whatever part of my life, the same abandonment wound, all those same fears come up again. And it's messy as fuck. It is, it's so messy inside. The thing is, it's like when I was at that level, that lower level before, the things that I was struggling with then are not a problem now, but it's the same type of fears that come up at this next level that, have to be conquered and outgrown. And so it's that old thing about, you have a comfort zone this big, and if you want to grow, you got to have a bigger comfort zone. And it's like every time we go to a bigger circle, a bigger playing field, we give ourselves a bigger playing field in our lives, the way that we struggle in doing that is often the same. And so we got to have the skills to be able to deal with the fears and doubts that come up. And so it's like one of the biggest things that I see, one of the biggest things that people in our culture deal with are the fear of abandonment and fear of not being good enough. And those come out in, 20, 30 different ways. And a lot of times I'll say, it's either fear of abandonment or fear of not being good enough. And people will be like, oh, but it's this. And it's like, well, yeah, that's fear of not being good enough. Oh, well, I would be fine if people just didn't judge me. Yeah, that's fear of not being good enough. And the, so it's like with those two things, we as a people cannot truly grow until we know that we're safe. Oh, safe. He didn't say safety. He said abandonment. So that abandonment wound covers feeling safe emotionally, covers feeling safe physically, covers having a sense of security within yourself and in the world, covers love and trust. It's like, do you love really well? Can you accept love really well? How easy is it for you to trust, and how trustworthy are you? And with the worthiness piece, the fear of not being good enough, it's not, you know, are you enough? It's on a scale of 0 to 10, how well would you rate yourself on being incredibly freaking wonderful? Say, I am incredibly freaking wonderful. Rate yourself from 0 to 10. Rate yourself on 0 to 10 on how safe you feel, how secure you feel in the world. And those are the biggest issues that cause 99% of the problems in our world today on some level. And we as a people have to get a really strong foundation underneath us, or else we can't grow. We can't move forward as a people. And that's what we're here to do. So that's the thing that's been with me really strong today. And because I would love it if the only thing I did was teach all the really juicy, spiritual, expansive stuff. Like that's my jam. And I don't get to do that a whole lot because every time somebody starts to open up, the things that have prevented them from opening up before come up to heal. And so it's like, hey, how about we go here? Oh, well, there's all this stuff that's been getting in the way, that's kept me from getting to that point before. That's the stuff that we got to heal and grow through. And so, it's what I do, and I love doing it, absolutely. And I want us as a people to get on to bigger, better problems, and problems that are a lot more fun to solve. And we got some major freaking problems going on in our world. And there's one of those things that keeps coming up, especially lately, is people, talking about, essentially it's that old expression, the world's going to hell, and, and saying that things are getting worse. And the truth is they're not getting worse. The problems are just getting uncovered. The problems have always been there. And like going back to 2017 when the Me Too movement started, it's like it brought up a lot of trauma that stayed covered up for women. And a lot of women it wasn't that they started feeling unsafe. They started realizing how unsafe they had always felt and ignored and didn't pay attention to. And the same thing's going on even bigger now with all this stuff about the Epstein files. It's like the problem's always been there. Women were not safer 20 years ago. Women certainly were not safer 50 years ago. But the awareness of how unsafe women have been feeling and have felt, it's up. And that awareness, while it's horrible that women don't feel safe, and it's horrible that men have given them a reason to not feel safe, that awareness is a vital thing for women to grow into the place where that kind of behavior is never going to be tolerated again. And it's not on women to stop it, but it's on women to know that they don't have to put up with it. And that's part of the patriarchal teaching, is that it's just a woman's place to be abused and mistreated and harassed, and men can't be held accountable. And men need to be held fucking accountable for this stuff. Absolutely. It is not okay. And men not being held accountable is one of those huge things in our culture. It's based on the men not feeling safe, men not feeling worthy, trying to exert some sort of power to get a sense of control. And over women, trying to get a sense of power and control in their own lives and using women as pawns to do that. It is absolutely not okay. And the men need to grow up. It's time for the adults to step into the room and quit letting the kids run the show. And that's what's happening. That's what's, there's so few of our politicians that are worth a crap right now, which has always been the case. Probably, it's definitely the case now. But the stress and anxiety and self-doubt that so many people, especially women, are feeling right now is a part of that growing up process. And the wounds and self-doubts underneath all the insecurities, underneath all that, those are serious questions that need to be answered, and they need to be answered in a way that's in alignment with who we truly are spiritually. And that's what I want us all to do. That's my vision. It's a big dream, and I think it's worth dreaming. And a lot of people will say, yeah, that sounds really hard. It's like, yeah, but it's not nearly as hard as not doing the work and not healing. And I know that humans can do incredible things when they decide to do it. I want us all to grow up. So anyway, that's the part that's been on my mind. That's the part that's been on my heart. So love you guys. Bless you. I will talk to you sometime later. Bye.